Bro, they really sent me a 32-inch 1080p 240 hertz monitor here. So yeah, there's kind of a mess back here. We're just gonna ignore all of this, and we're gonna be replacing this 24-inch and that 24-inch 1080p monitor with this new 32-inch. I might readjust this one and we'll see what happens at the end, but I'm going to clean up, set up this monitor, unbox it, and see how it looks. I've never actually played on a 240 hertz monitor or even seen how smooth that can look, so I'm actually pretty excited for this. And again, thank you JLINK for sending this out. I have to clean my setup anyway, so this is going to be a great excuse to get it nice and tidy. Here's all of the specs: 240 hertz, full HD 1080p, eye protection, sync technology, 1 millisecond response time, and HDR. Wait, it has HDR? All right, at least it has HDR, even though it's only 1080, but I'll take the HDR. I think it's curved too, if I'm not mistaken. This took way longer than it should have to get off of his desk, but now at least I know that this stand gets the job done. Got some goodies. This is part of the stand. Power cable, HDMI it looks like, and some screws. Also part of the power cable it looks like, and the other piece of the stand here. This thing is kind of pointy on the edges. Whoa. And there she is, the 32-inch JLINK 240 hertz monitor. This thing is kind of ridiculous. I'm not used to having such a big screen in front of me. I'm just used to the 24-inch monitors, and I've been wanting to put this monitor this way as well. I can scroll through my 400 videos in full satisfaction now. But yeah, this is gonna be great for working on projects. Now back to the main event here. I've played PS5, PC, and the ROG Ally so far on here, and all of them look really great. Although this is a VA panel, I mean, VA panels are not usually known to have the best colors. It looks pretty good. It's not an IPS display, nothing OLED or anything special like that. VA panel usually dulls out the colors and it looks kind of faded, but this one does support HDR and I think the colors look fantastic. It's not like it's an eyesore or anything like that, switching from my IPS display, which does have pretty nice colors and brightness, to the 32-inch VA panel. Yeah, it's not as bright as this one, but the colors do still look pretty good, and the brightness isn't annoyingly dull either, so I think it's pretty solid for a VA panel, and the fact that it has HDR makes these colors look a whole lot better. And yes, I chose a Fortnite trailer because Fortnite is one of the most colorful games out there. I mean, look at it, it's pretty. At the end of the day, this monitor is targeted for people that are trying to favor performance over quality. I mean, it's a 240 hertz 1080p monitor. I feel like that's targeted more towards people that want to hit those higher frames or want to get competitive, although I think 32 inches for competitive is a little bit overkill, but that's just me. Now I play my games in 1080p for the most part. The only time I'm playing in 4K is if I'm playing a PlayStation exclusive or something like that. I'll play it on my TV or something, but when it comes to trying to get those higher frames, I'm always playing in 1080p, as my computer and the Ally and all of my devices support 1080p better than it would something 2K or 4K. So for me, 1080p right now is enough based on all of my devices. Now, if you're trying to future-proof something and you're going to have 4K devices or systems that support 4K, then obviously you're going to want to look into options like 2K, 4K, which also JLINK does have 2K, 4K options, but this one in particular I think is targeted more towards people getting into, you know, higher performance at a lower cost, or just FPS geeks, just frame rate gurus that want to hit the 240 hertz on whatever game they're playing. And they do have quite a bit of options here. Mine is the 32-inch 240 hertz model. It is $270 on Amazon, but they do have a variety of monitors on here ranging from 24 inches 1080p all the way up to 34 inches 144 hertz. So there's quite a bit of options on here, and these prices, normally a 240 hertz monitor is going to cost you a whole lot more, especially if it's 2K, 4K. 1080p, it's still going to be more, but their pricing is pretty aggressive for a 32-inch 240 hertz monitor. I'd say that's pretty solid. There are some portable monitors that cost you around $200, $250. Supports FreeSync, supports G-Sync, has a 1 millisecond response time, so a whole lot of goodies packed into this thing. It can be mounted onto an arm, but currently I'm using the only arm I have to mount this one. I'm using the stand it comes with. It's like aluminum or metal or something like that. Pretty solid build quality as far as the stand goes. Now the monitor itself does feel plasticky and it's not the most amazing build quality, but it gets the job done. Let me go right over here so you can kind of see the curve. You can kind of see it right there. It's 240 hertz under $300. Can we really complain if it's plastic? I don't think so. I think it's fine. Now, my computer isn't powerful to hit 240 hertz in a game like Warzone or even Fortnite or something like that. A little bit more demanding games, but I can try out Combat Master. The good old Combat Master loves to go into high frames. So that's what I'm going to be booting up here and checking out the 240 hertz with. And as you can see here in the menu, we're already hitting the 240 hertz, which is crazy. And I can tell just by moving the cursor around just how buttery smooth it's going to be, or how it feels. It feels amazing. I've never felt it before until now, and it feels, you know, slightly smoother than the 165 hertz or 120. Those are all still very smooth. This is like an extra layer of just buttery smooth frame sauce right there. Can I get this guy with one hand? No. Anyways, a couple of cool things to point out with this monitor before we move on is this little button back here. It has one button on the back of the monitor. It's one of those analog style or analog stick style buttons where it goes up, down, left, right, and it clicks inward. If you hold it, it turns it off. If you click it once, you get this menu with a bunch of information. You got your display settings, your color, your gaming setup, input, system set, user data. Select your saturation, your HDR settings, your G-Sync, Freesync settings here. You can set all of that stuff up here. You even got your FPS limit or counter right there. And then for quicker settings, if we go left, we got our Game Plus options here. We got a timer, crosshair, which indeed is what you think it is. It puts a crosshair in the middle of your screen if you just want to have a permanent crosshair for aiming in your whatever game you're playing. If we go right, we got our different presets here. Currently I'm on movie mode because I feel like the colors pop a lot on this one and it's just a little brighter. See, if I go to user or standard, it's a little bit darker, and then we have photo mode, RTS, FPS 1 and FPS 2. But out of these presets, I do really like photo mode, or movie mode, sorry, because I think it has the best looking colors. And oh wait. Of course not. I'm trying to use this crosshair. Okay, yep, it works. This is gun game, by the way. Down pulls up your volume, and up pulls up your different inputs. There's a DisplayPort, an HDMI 2, and an HDMI 1. There's also a USB port on this monitor, and a headphone jack, which I have my soundbar plugged into. I don't know, but 240 hertz feels too crispy for its own good. It feels so good. The center dot, guys, it's not gonna work for everything. The crazy part about this is that it's staying at a consistent like 230 to 240 frames. It's kind of crazy. Obviously this is like a mobile game ported over to PC, and that's why I'm able to run it so smoothly, but either way it's a great test to see, you know, an in-game feeling experience of what 240 hertz is actually like, because I've never tried it and it feels really good. I'm gonna see if the PlayStation 5 will support the 120 hertz option on this 240 hertz monitor. We'll see what happens. I don't know if it's gonna work. I haven't tried it. Hopefully it works. Alright, so here we are in Fortnite, and it does indeed support 120 FPS, which is awesome. And it looks really good, feels really good too. This is the only up Fortnite map, and I've never actually played this, but look at me go. Colors, frame rate, everything looks good on the PS5. Pretty solid for a console monitor. What in the world are these bots, bro? So moving on, lastly, I'm going to plug the monitor into the ROG Ally and see how that looks and feels. I could honestly try all of my devices, but I'm not going to. I don't want to make this video extremely long, so I'm not going to try every single device I own, but at some point, somewhere on the channel, I will probably be pairing all of these other devices with this monitor. It'll be featured somewhere on the channel at some point, so if you're interested, just stay tuned for future content. The ROG Ally never fails to impress me. Here we are at 300 frames when I'm looking at the floor in the game. Obviously, you're not going to be staring at the floor, but that's pretty impressive that it even goes that high. I am on 15 watts performance mode. I'm not even maxing out the watts on here, and it's running like butter. It's running super smooth and it looks amazing. I am on high settings as well. Now, one thing to keep in mind is, although I am hitting these higher frames, 144 hertz, 130, 200, 300, the Ally and this monitor, this combination of everything, only allows me to go up to 144 Hertz. Over here on the Ally's window settings, if we go over here and tap into the devices or the monitor's display settings, it is limited to 144 Hertz. I did go into properties to see if it allowed me to go any further, but I'm pretty sure the maximum frames you can hit or hertz on the Ally is 144 Hertz. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but either way, 144 Hertz on the Ally is pretty impressive. Of course, I couldn't leave without trying shipment on the Ally on this 32-inch monitor. I think that about covers it. That was the JLINK F32FR1K gaming monitor, 240 Hertz, 32 inches. It's curved, it's cool, it works with consoles, it supports 120 FPS on PS5. It played PC great, it did everything great. On a budget, I'd say this is an amazing monitor for the performance that it's, you're getting out of it. So pretty solid stuff. I never heard of the brand until they reached out to me. Once again, I want to give a thank you for reaching out and allowing me to cover this device on my channel. This was kind of an all over the place test / overview. If you liked anything from this video, if you liked any of the features on this monitor, I will leave a link in the description so that you can check out the monitor and their other monitors for yourself. Hopefully you found this video enjoyable or informative. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.